Yay.
All right, and we are back, guys. As I said earlier today, we were going to come back tonight. D&D. I think this is
Is this the
episode
night where we
17?
storm? Wait. Yes, this is episode 17. Is this the one where we storm the orphanage and kill all the orphans?
Perhaps.
And they're going, what? What? Why are we killing orphans? What happened?
They're demonic possessed and look like goblins.
You were a murder hobo.
Apparently gone full murder hobo. Okay.
I gotta turn you.
I had a little taste of power in the arena.
So here we go. The sorcerer, warlock, whatever he is going for full murder hobo. The necromancer is sort of, kind of, maybe the moral of the party. Anyone else see something wrong with this?
No.
Yes, I'm D.
We are the bad guys. This whole time we're looking for the bad guys, and we are them.
Are we the baddies? Question mark.
Yes.
Killing and enslaving heroes,
So here's off topic here. This is actually a really interesting campaign idea that I had years ago with our buddy Nick.
Nick.
And it was an idea of adventurers so the party, whoever may have been the players, who were basically going around and cleaning up a mess after a party beforehand. Like this party always seemed to arrive like a few days before, clean up some kind of a mess. So like, for an example, kind of like what happened in the city of Dagbor with the goblins.
Yep.
Something kind of like that. That's probably the closest example you guys have had to it. And
what about the Gloom Drake?
Huh?
The Gloom Drake?
Yeah. I mean, the Gloom Drake wasn't that big of a deal. The goblins, on the other hand, would have been a huge issue. So it was usually bigger issues and stuff like that. And by the end of so the idea was this entire time, like through all the levels and stuff, they'd be cleaning up these messes throughout the campaign from this other party. And then at the very end of the campaign, so like the level 20 fight, or the level 20 boss fight, it's the party versus this other party that they had been chasing, but it turns out to have been them the entire time.
Whoa.
And so basically they were chasing this alternative party idea for them, and so it was it was a really interesting kind of a conclusion ending thing that we kind of thought about, and I'm like, that'd be a really fun campaign to run, or even be a part of, because like, could you imagine all of the different the fuck moments that would occur?
Oh yeah.
So,
I have my suspicions about this one. Just saying.
This is I will be straight up. This is not. You guys are not chasing yourselves, or you guys are not leaving a mess for yourselves to clean up. If that makes any sense, that's not what you guys are doing.
Unless that was the whole idea behind the parallel woods.
I mean, You're always welcome to go back and explore.
I think I'd be like, over my dead body, but I can hear Dinok, that could be arranged.
Yeah. So,
Karen would be like, smash?
Alright. So, to give a recap of what happened last week, actually it'll be the last couple of weeks, the party have traveled to the city of Enthalna, where they learned that it's kind of a my way or the highway kind of city, regardless of who you are. If you are not strong, you are weak, and therefore you are not correct. Having learned this attitude and taken a little bit of time to adjust to it, the party eventually got used to it and decided to enter the gladiatorial games that are held within the city. Before doing that, however, they did decide to help the city out with a slight water poisoning problem. They went to they found the source, which was a gloom drake, a large draconic lizard, basically dead and poisoning the water. And they removed it, barely, and then raced back to the gladiatorial games, where they fought 2 rounds in the arena up against opponents that the first group fairly tough, the second group a little bit easier, and then they had, due to combat damages and stuff, and then they had an evening's rest, and then the next morning they had the finals. They went up against a group of individuals who have been known to have been dominant in the team submission ring for several years now. The party who had entered the death match, scraping by the skin of their teeth, ended up killing 2 of them and causing 2 others to become unable to fight for a period of time, giving them the victory.
I think the word you're looking for is incapacitate.
Yes.
Incapacitated would be a word, but they're not. So basically, they dropped them to 0 hit points, and then Spare the Dying was cast on them.
Right.
One by a teammate, one by the generous Valinar, who is this team's cleric, who can also cast Fireball. So remember
That's
when they had in this party. The rest of the fighting went by fairly quickly, leading into the evening, where essentially a festival was held, a party of sorts was held for the people who won, and also a celebratory of those who died. It's a very weird mix of celebrating and mourning, as it is very much a as you guys kind of are reconvening in this space, it is it's very interesting to hear, because there are lots of people who are crying and mourning, yet very cheerful in the same breath, it seems like at times, due to the fact that they are celebrating those who have passed and remembering them through drinking and cheering and essentially partying.
Deanoch mutters to himself, "This entire town could use a good psychiatrist."
What's a psychiatrist?
A doctor of the mind. As the body
Mind?
requires doctors to fix bones, illnesses, the mind requires a doctor of their own.
So, like a mystic.
More along the lines of psychological problems, things like trouble sleeping. A psychiatrist could find out, it's because, for example, this person has daddy issues, or...
Oh. Interesting.
It's
I might need to see a psychiatrist then.
Well,
With
there's
my
quite a
issues.
Be
few
careful.
back
They
in
might try to convince you you're a dude.
On second thought.
You also, you guys also do notice that kind of as the evening is going on, you guys notice that there are different touches of almost religious ceremonies going on. The two that stand out immediately to most of you, probably Katya being the only one, not somebody who's not that well versed in deities, would be so the ones that you kind of notice right away are definitely to the god the gods Morton and Vita.
Yeah, I know some things.
Mm-hmm. But you also rely more heavily on the sciences of things more so than faith. Like I said, you would probably at the very least know the names and their domain, but there wouldn't be much of a personal relationship there.
Sounds about right.
Cardin, you would know them just because of the rites to your from your village. You know, the passing of somebody from your tribe. You know, a warrior going to the grave. You're always praying to Mortem for safe passage and to, you know, allow him basically the entrance into what is effectively Valhalla, where he can eat and drink and fight until his soul fades into nothingness, you assume anyway. And then again with Vita, the praise of a new life whenever a child is born into the tribe. Valinar, you're a cleric, you know all this shit.
Yeah.
Are we sure about that?
Guys, seriously, I am a cleric.
Explain the
I
fireball.
just like Cardin is just really awed by the fact that the cleric continuously says that he is in fact a cleric.
Explain that fireball then.
He is in awe of
My
cleric.
god gave me the ability to cast fire. I'm a cleric. All I have to say is, my god said I could.
All you have to do is say please, and he just does it, right? Is that how it works?
No, that's more of a warlock. They're like, Daddy, can I do
Oh.
Yeah, that's
No,
all.
no, you can't.
No, clerics are
I'm
more
having a hard
like
time seeing
the
the
deities
difference.
go, here, you can do this. Now do what you want. As long as you don't soil my name.
Right. And there also seems to be, out in the streets as well, there also seems to be a very heavy population of, it's weird to place, but they seem to be praising in a way that doesn't immediately strike you as familiar, Valinar. While you know, kind of some of the basic rituals to both Mortem and to Vita, the ones that are performed by some of the individuals in the town, they seem to be almost like a combination of the two.
So which one are they worshipping?
Does it seem familiar to me?
Everybody would probably notice this. I don't know about Cardin though. His passive may not be great.
My passive perception is 15.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, then probably Katya. I think
Yeah.
he's got the lowest. Well,
Distracted by other things.
Oh, I've got 11.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I would say
Interesting.
everybody would notice then.
I must
I would
have the
say
lowest.
everybody would notice. Everybody kind of notices because it does kind of stand out because it's not like one or two people. It is a fair majority. Like more people, like the first few people that do it, you kind of just go, okay, whatever, a little bit of a different thing. But as you start to increase on the 15 to 20 mark of these different people that you see doing this, you're actually kind of beginning to like think about like what the crap. As you see this, if you guys would like to make religion checks on this, you are welcome to.
Now I'm gonna roll low. Watch this.
I will attempt.
I rolled a 22.
Ah, see? 11.
I rolled 12.
Interesting, considering I was kind of maybe sort of trained by a priest. My religion. My roll was shit.
You rolled a 2 for your religion for a total of 10.
I got some bonuses.
I rolled a 13 minus 1.
19 plus 3.
So. Yeah, Balinar, you kind of pick up on this. And it almost makes you wonder about something that you read long ago when training all those years ago. Back underneath the... back in,
Goldenwild?
well, it would have been...
Under...
It would have been under Father,
Nadine?
Nadino? I'm sorry?
Nadon?
Yeah, Nadon, there you go. Thank you for the pronunciation. Hey, look, I see words and I just kind of write until something comes out that makes sense.
I heard NATO. I heard NATO. Like a tornado.
Like Valorant?
You're close.
Yeah. Nadon?
Nadon. Yeah.
Okay. He had you reading a book that you knew wasn't popular among the other priests of the temple.
Sounds about right.
You don't recall the title at the moment, but it mentioned the oh, there it is. It mentioned the combination of life and death, not necessarily in a metaphorical way, but almost in a physical way. There's, according to this book, almost a strange occurrence and tie to the sun and moon with the gods Mortem and Vita. They're considered to have been born from these two, from the god of death and from the god of life. The sun and moon were created, creating the cycle of life and death, as though, along with the cycle of day and night. These praises seem to be directed at that cycle, not necessarily to any particular god or goddess, but to the cycle itself.
To essentially the circle of life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Occasionally, because you have the highest passive perception of the group, you do catch bits and pieces of what people may say in terms of like what they're saying to the in this praise. Sometimes you hear Reina, and other times you hear Rena. With
Reina.
that, Reina and Rena. With that religion check, you would know that according to this book, these names seem to be what was essentially the names given to the sun and moon, the twin children of Mortem and Vita.
Rena and Rena.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'll put them in chat so that the spelling is there for you, because they are spelled a little bit differently.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Somebody getting honked at?
Reina and Renia.
Well, alright, Garden. So it's Reyna and Rena. So, and you would also know that that Reyna is commonly perceived as the moon and as a female, and Rena, wow, I'm struggling tonight. It's commonly understood as the sun and a male. Again, this is from a book that most people don't really read. It's not necessarily considered canon from their perspective. More like a folk story or lore that may have occurred. But people continue to go on dancing and praising throughout the night, and depending on how late you guys would like to stay up with them is completely up to you.
Have we been rewarded our prize money yet?
Not yet, you haven't.
Then I ain't going to bed. I fought for my life out there alongside my allies. I almost died once, twice. I've lost count of how many times. I want my prize money.
You guys just barely survived that.
Yeah.
Turn
I
on.
do know.
Okay, there we go.
Oh. And I do know when our opponents do wake up from their coma, I guess, I would like to have a word with them. Particularly their cleric.
Sure. Trying to remember, did I...
Where do we go to get our prize money?
You were not informed. Or did
Who
you
would,
ask?
like... I was gonna say, like, who would be someone to ask?
You don't know? I mean, you don't really know who would be a good person to ask. I mean, there are a lot of people you could ask.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for the, I guess, town leader or whatever his name is, the mayor.
Okay.
We'll keep an eye out for him, see if he might show up.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check then, as you kind of are actively searching for.
Perception. I couldn't remember how to spell perception. That's sad. Ooh. Ah. Well.
Well.
Okay, that's 6. Too many
I
people
mean,
in this
you
crowd.
keep an eye out for him for a while, but you don't see him. Not in the droves of people that are around. So, you just don't manage to see him.
Well, I tried. Too many people. It's getting late. Can't
Let the
keep my eyes
barkeep
open.
know.
It does begin to get late as you guys kind of stay later and later. Suddenly, it's even beginning to get dark, and well into the night.
I'm just gonna go back to the inn and ask the barkeep.
Okay.
I think I'll try dancing. Maybe that'll keep me awake.
Okay, you're gonna go down.
What?
Denock.
I was just gonna say, Rana's gonna look around for the guy we paid to enter.
Okay, you're gonna look for him.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a perception check then.
15.
15. He does not seem to be around.
Dang it.
You're pretty sure you've combed the crowd pretty well, but you just cannot find him.
Maybe some sleep will help. Let's go back to the end.
Okay. You guys return to the inn. Dinok arriving there first, and Katya doing some dancing. I don't know what Cardin's doing, but Dinok,
I'm following.
You're following.
I'm following.
Who?
I'm following the cleric because I like the cleric.
Okay, so you guys, so Dinok, you arrive back at the bar first, and you can see that the bar's fairly busy as people are celebrating and people come in here for drinks at times, rather than waiting outside on the street to get them. As you kind of step up to ask a question, he's kind of like, yeah, can I help you?
What time is it, by the way?
Probably by this point in time, you're probably pushing, probably, because you guys would have done a lot, you guys already had a short rest. I would say you guys are probably pushing 10 o'clock at night, maybe?
Have we had dinner yet?
You guys have ate. The fair itself seems to have been providing food and drink and stuff like that. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of coin being exchanged, other than for, like, the good stuff.
I'm down for free food.
Alright, I asked the barkeep, since we won the death challenge, where do we go for the prize money?
The prize money is typically counted and split up the night of the win, and then the next morning it's typically delivered to the winners. They know that you're staying here. You guys are new in town, so you kind of stick out pretty easily. So the money will be delivered here probably before lunchtime tomorrow.
Alright then. I think I'll have an easy ale and then settle it for the night.
Sure, and pours you an ale and hands it to you. Have a good night. Congrats on the victory.
I take the ale to a table somewhat in the corner.
Gotcha. Katya, you are dancing.
I am dancing.
Cool.
Am I doing well?
You're dancing.
Make a performance check.
Oh.
I think a 22 will pass.
You're doing pretty well. Like,
I'm over there twerking.
you're doing a very, you're dancing very in time to the music and stuff like that, and it's. There are people who begin to kind of watch as not a whole lot of people are dancing solo, and so you do catch the eye of a few individuals. However, and I made note of this, I'm gonna give you your Tides of Chaos back right now.
Oh no!
Oh no!
This is
This is gonna be good.
working in front of a crowd.
Yep.
DM, that's some good timing.
So I need you to roll a D100 for me.
Roll that die!
12. Oh, please let it be good. Please let it be good.
Fireball on himself.
Okay.
Oh, he's laughing.
Okay.
Oh,
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
19.
Ooh.
Man, I kind of wanted you to fail.
Well, tell me the effect, and I can say I fail if it's good enough.
Well, no. If you want to fail, you can choose to fail.
Fail, fail,
But
fail,
you
fail,
don't know
fail,
the effects at the moment.
True.
fail.
Do I
fail,
want to let
fail.
it just happen?
You're so
currently
going to cause
dancing, and you feel so. You're dancing, and all of a sudden you start to feel this tingling sensation kind of start from your core and just begin to ripple outward.
Oh, I'm wetting my pants, aren't I?
No. What?
No? Okay.
Do you still want to let the save happen?
Do I feel like it's gonna put anybody in immediate danger?
You don't know.
Oof. Odds or evens? Odds. For a pass. Okay, I pass.
Okay. So the tingling sensation kind of ripples outwards of your body and all the way down your arms, and eventually leaves and goes through your fingertips and just almost like exiting. It exits through your fingertips and toes, and nothing seems to happen.
Okay.
You
Interesting.
You resisted the effects.
I composed myself well.
So what was it?
We don't know.
I mean, he doesn't know, unfortunately. The effects of what was going to happen is technically beyond his magical prowess at the moment. So,
I just roll with it.
so you kind of just continue. Go ahead and give me a deception check to see how well you kind of roll with it in the crowd.
Alright, I'm warming up for this. Here we go. My deception's high. Oh, 12 or 12.
Tides of chaos.
Wouldn't really help him. Wouldn't really help him in this situation. But you can see. So like, you feel like you did a pretty good job, but you swear you saw. You see kind of out of the corner of your eye a couple of people kind of smirk, as if they've noticed that something odd has happened to you. But just a few. Most of them seem to be kind of impressed that you're dancing and just kind of watching what you are doing.
Ah, okay. I'll inspect myself later.
So, Valinar, you go and are going to bed?
Yes.
When he comes into the bar, I tell him what the barkeep told me about. We'll get our pay about sometime before lunch tomorrow.
Okay, we'll see if I'm up before lunch.
Fair enough.
Okay.
And then go.
Cardin also goes to sleep because he took a lot of damage.
Yeah, just for a real quick recap for everybody, I think everybody but D-Knock went down in that fight. The last fight, I think.
I don't think
And-
Cardin went down. He just went down low and then got
I
healed.
thought I went down.
Okay, I
Pretty
don't
sure.
really
Yeah,
recall. Go
you
watch
knocked
the
me
last
down
episode.
because I raised him up to the final blow.
Okay,
I think I went down twice.
go watch the last episode. You can find out. But none of these guys finished that fight with more than 10 hit points.
Yeah.
I think I had 2. Again.
I had
So-
6.
Of course, for you, that's 12.
Yeah.
I suppose. But regardless, you guys are welcome to. So Cardin and Valinar, you guys go to bed. D-Knock, you finish your
Okay.
ale. Katya, what do you
And I
do?
go to bed.
as you- Okay, and then you go to bed as well. Then D-Knock. Katya, what do you do as you dance and you see others dancing around? And it seems to be getting later and later, but some of these individuals don't seem to be showing any signs of stopping.
I'm gonna go until I am too tired to move anymore. Then I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay, go ahead and roll a Constitution check.
do.
Oh, that's not too
15.
bad.
15.
Look at that.
That's pretty good.
I know.
I will say,
Especially for
I-
Catherine.
I will say that you continue to dance and be this center of attention for some people, probably until well into the late night. By the time you find your way back to the inn is completely empty, the downstairs anyway, and it is deathly quiet here. You can still hear the people outside dancing,
feels
and
weird.
music kind of playing, but the interior of the tavern is quiet, muted, the sounds from outside, sure, but it is quiet. Not even the barkeep seems to be around at the moment.
As I walk into the tavern, and I see there's nobody there, I'm gonna ask out loud, "Geez, what time is it?"
No response.
That late. Okay. I should probably be getting to bed then.
Okay. You head to bed as well.
Of course.
And eventually, as you got the night takes you all at your different times, and you guys sleep. And it's a deep sleep, very peaceful. You
Good.
guys have dreams of
Nope.
winning. Winning was definitely something that you guys have been looking forward to, and now for some of you, the idea of having money, some of you dream about the first thing that you're looking forward to spending it on. You know, a meal fit for a king, maybe a shiny new weapon, or maybe
meal
some
fit
new
for me.
clothes. And you
Ooh.
guys dream very peacefully.
What's a dream?
Eventually, morning comes. I forget, Valinar. Is that something that's just a character thing, or is that a
No,
thing
No,
with Calistar?
Calistars do not dream.
Oh,
Yeah, Kalistars
Yeah.
are severed from dreams. It's a racial trait.
interesting. Okay.
Aww.
I guess I haven't looked at Calistar in a while, so that's cool.
Yep.
So, okay, well, you
but
guys.
we
Spell
draw
dream.
on the memories of our otherworldly spirit while they sleep.
Okay.
As such, we're immune to magical spells and effects that require you to dream, like the dream spell, but not to spells and effects that put you to sleep, like the sleep spell.
Yeah. I remember reading about that, and I thought that was kind of interesting and dumb at the same time, but still.
Yep.
Hellish stars in a nutshell.
Mhm.
Kalishtar
Oh,
is
see,
fun.
the thing is Dream is a fun spell, and it can be very, very dangerous if you use the nightmare part of it. So it's a fun spell, but it's like a 5th level. Yeah, it's a 5th level spell. So, anyway, eventually, morning comes for those of you who would get up with the sunrise. Katya, you do not rise with the sun. You are forbidden.
Definitely not.
So to put it in perspective for you, for Rona, I guess would be the better way of doing this. So Rona, Katya essentially, basically went to bed at like 3 or 4 a.m.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I'll wake up eventually.
Yeah, exactly. So
Somebody will let me know when the money's arrived, I'm sure.
we'll let you know when noon rolls around. So, Dina, Carden, Valinar, you guys probably are rustled with the sun. Valinar, you probably roll over and put your back to it and fall back asleep.
Yep. Not getting up.
Yes.
I do wake up, and cast mage armor like normal.
Okay.
But also, I try and put my friend back together.
Okay. I think you need to cast the spell again.
Oh, I know, I
at
do.
this point.
But
so...
I'm saying I try and put him back together.
Okay.
Because he was falling apart.
Right. So essentially, if you lay the pieces back together like they should be, and then recast the spell, it'll reattach the lens and stuff. So, just so that you are aware.
Mm-hmm.
So your skeleton once again kind of and is waiting for orders.
Follow me and serve me.
I'm assuming you cloak it again.
Follow me into the desert.
Okay.
What?
Follow me into the desert.
Too bad you're in the other room.
Okay. With that, you wake up. Cardin, did you say you roll over and go back to sleep?
Yeah, Cardin's aiming to wake up at like 11.
Okay. Okay. So Dinok, you wake with the sun. You know that it's probably 7:30 or so. Not terribly early, but not terribly late as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of rise and head downstairs, I'm assuming.
Yep.
You're greeted with the smile of the barkeep again. The individual who has since kind of warmed up to you guys. Elric kind of stands there and goes, "Oh, good morning there."
Morning.
Seems to be fairly cheerful.
I'll take a plate for breakfast.
Excellent. Are you looking for some heavier stuff or something kind of lighter?
I don't know what the day will bring, but I plan on enjoying today. Let's make it good.
Fair enough. So for a good meal, you're looking at probably a good meal. You're looking at probably 5 silver. Otherwise, it'd probably run you about 2.
5 it is.
He vanishes for a little while and eventually brings you. You know what a garbage plate is, Rom?
What?
Okay, cool. I'll explain it. So, at first, after probably 20 minutes or so, he returns with this plate, and it looks like a mound, and it looks like there's been some kind of gelatinous kind of dirt almost that has been poured over top of it.
Ew.
You're kind of questioning it at first, and he just goes, "Try it."
Okay.
Can you try it?
Oh yeah.
So you cut into it, and as you kind of pull a piece away, you begin to see what is all in this. And you take a bite out of it, and it is a strange sensation, but yet very good. Everything seems to complement one another, but not jump out too much that it's like, oh, that's good. But you can definitely taste everything in the one bite that you take. Essentially what this is it is a layer upon layer upon layer of different breakfast foods. Your base being that of
It's a casserole.
Biscuits. A what?
A casserole.
Kind of, except everything is made and then is put on top of it, and then it's served. And so
Weird.
So you got your biscuit. You have biscuits kind of broken up, kind of covering as a base.
Oops.
And then on top of that, you can taste what seems to be almost like sausage patties. And then on top of that, you have a crunchy layer of hash browns. Layered on top of that, you find over easy eggs, kind of on top of that. And then the top of it, you taste what seems to be like strips of bacon, and all of this is covered in a thick and creamy gravy.
Something kind of like that. Just put it in the Discord.
Kind of.
But the same idea.
The idea of a garbage plate is basically everything is put together, kind of combined, and just when you bite into one, when you cut into part of it, you're getting a little bit of everything.
You just take out all the you take all things that can be considered breakfast food and just mix them together.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I understand the concept now.
Yeah. It is, and when you bite into it, it is oddly satisfying because you have the crisp and crunch of the hash brown and bacons, complementing the yolky center of each egg, and yet the fluffiness of the biscuit. It is strange and good, and everything seems to be cooked to perfection.
Weird.
He kind of goes, I didn't know what you'd be preparing for the day, so I gave you a little bit of everything.
I mean, I'm not talking, I'm just eating.
Yeah, he kind of nod and he kind of smiles.
The only thing I do other than eat is I throw him a thumbs up.
Is eventually the morning kind of passes by a little bit. Probably about an hour and a half after you awake, Enoch, a kind of a shorter gnome-like figure kind of comes in. Excuse me. And goes, kind of walks up to the barkeep and goes, kind of looks at him and goes, "Hi, the winners from last night are staying here, right?" Yeah, actually, one of them's over there," and he kind of points to you, kind of a little ways down the bar. And he goes, "Oh, perfect!" And he kind of waddles on over to you and kind of sets on the stool next to you, and he goes, right, Black Dragonborn. Where are the rest of your companions?"
I just stop, think for a second. Probably asleep still.
Well, they did. They all did. They did kind of take a beating. Anyway, would it be safe to leave the money with you then, for your team spoils? Right. He kind of reaches
I'm
into
just
his.
putting more of the food in my thighs.
He kind of pulls his bag out, and you watch as he pulls out 4 fairly hefty sacks. They're not light by any means, and sets them kind of on the counter in front of you. He goes, don't worry about anything else. This is your share. Everything's already been taken out of it in terms of earnings split, things like that. And it's already divided up for each of your teams, so you are good to go.
How much did each of us get then?
Each bag should contain, I believe the mention of it was 280 gold pieces.
Wow.
Well, they're thereabouts anyway. They probably didn't use all gold pieces because that would be extremely heavy. There's probably a few platinum coins in there as well.
Goodness.
Wow.
All right.
I guess that's what we get for being the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of tapped the purse a bit.
Oh no, now that movie's in my head.
So
Wow.
A good day to you,
All
sir.
right. He kind of like nods, and you watch him kind of scurry off. Probably looking for more people. Probably would understand. Would probably.
I turn to my skeleton and tell him, "Go wake the others up. Gently, gently."
Oh no.
Okay.
Remember, he is robed, and they
Yep.
did see what he looked like yesterday. So, D-Not's assuming.
Yep. I want to look something up just real fast for the sake of comedy.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's about what I thought. Okay.
We gonna get good?
Alright, so you kind of watch as the skeleton kind of just like and begins walking away towards the stairs and heads up the stairs. Let's see, we have Carden, Carden, Eleanor, and Katya in bed. Okay. 3, 2. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Valinar.
Oh no.
Eventually, you hear funk, 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 funk against your door. Just funk over, funk and over, funk again.
I know the exact results of this.
Funk.
So, thankfully, he's not in the room. Donna is just gonna get up, go to the door, open it, and just shout, "What the fuck do you want?"
And you watch as a skeleton, like, as you open the door, all but runs right into you as he's trying to walk through the door, basically.
Yes.
Just
No touching, pushes him away.
no touching. He just pushes him back into the hallway, and then he kind of just points, just this finger down the hallway, heading towards the stairs.
I'm just gonna stare at the direction he pointed. What? Alright, fine. I go back into the room to get ready.
He turns around and Katya, you hear a thunk, 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 thunk,
No.
thunk, thunk.
I don't wanna.
Over and over and over.
Eventually, he's gonna roll over and kind of throw the sheets off and shout, "Do you have any idea what time it is?"
Thunk. Thunk.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
It's after breakfast.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Thunk.
Katya's gonna begrudgingly get out of bed.
Thunk.
Wait for take a couple steps towards the door. Wait.
Thunk.
Maybe if I'm really quiet, they'll just go away.
Thunk.
Oh, they're not going away. I'll put my hand on the doorknob.
Thunk.
And I'll open the door, and I'll just look out. And what do I see?
You see a skeletal figure, cloaked, and as he begins to step forward, stops, sees you, makes eye contact with his void-like eye sockets, and then just points down the hallway.
Katya peeks around the corner of his door. What? What's over there?
No reply. He's just pointing, mouth slightly agape.
Okay. I close the door in his face to go back to bed.
Okay. He goes and he begins to basically run into your door now, Cardin. Thunk. Thunk.
I don't know why, but this is hilarious.
Cardin,
Isn't it?
Cardin hears
Thunk.
this thunk. Cardin becomes very annoyed.
Thunk. Thunk.
You're having fun with this, aren't you?
Cardin rages.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Oh
Grabs his hammer.
Thunk.
Well, his maul. And he swings his maul through the door to hit whatever's on the other side.
So you ignore the door, don't open it, and just smash all of it, everything you can?
Yes.
no, bro, no!
I remember doing a similar thing with my barbarian once.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
Cardin is
Sometimes-
not a morning person, especially after that.
There was an unlocked door next to him, and I had him punch through the wall.
Well, 21 hit.
21.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
I want you to. Well, this isn't on your skeleton. This is technically on the door. Because he's going through the door. And so he's gonna hit the skeleton because the skeleton is literally thunk against the door. It's just gonna see how much damage the skeleton actually takes. So go ahead and roll damage now.
Oh, no!
Okay,
15?
so 13, 15. Hold on. So the door has 10 hit points. So the door is splintered. A 21 still hits the skeleton, unfortunately. And the remaining 5 points would carry over into the skeleton. However, skeletons are vulnerable to bludgeoning, which means that is double damage, meaning it takes 10 points of bludgeoning. But the skeleton still remains intact. Denock,
Do I see
you
this
and
happen?
Denock, Valinar, Katya, the barkeep, all of you hear this ear-splintering sound as literally the door is splintered and knocked into a skeleton. The skeleton,
The
I'm
hell?
going to say for the sake of this, is knocked prone. Valinar, I'm going to say you were basically on your way out the door when this happened. Like, you opened the door and just come flying through Cardin's door.
The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look up and make sure it wasn't my door before running to my door to look out and see what the hell just happened.
You kind of look over and your door's still standing.
Okay, good. So I'm gonna look out in the hallway.
All right.
What
Well,
the hell is going on out here?
First off, Denock, what are you doing?
I'm gonna rush upstairs.
You run upstairs, and at this point, you can see other heads beginning to pop out of the door, like the door. You see, you see Katya beginning to go, lean out and go, "What is going on?" You see Valinar kind of awestruck, halfway in the door, halfway in the hallway. And you just see Cardin's hammer basically laying on the other side of his door frame. With the door splintered in the hallway, and your zombie, or skeleton, sorry, on the ground, basically knocked down prone, and just kind of on the ground, kind of looking at the door where Cardin presumably stands.
Also, you know, like the Kalishtar eye thing, the
Yeah.
glowy eye thing. Yeah, that's happening right now.
Okay.
Because the way I've been playing it is it happens when I rage. So
Yeah, I know.
At this point, Valor doesn't have his lenses on, and his eyes are now glowing. Because his mind is going, oh, we need to get the hell out of here.
Everybody's kind of like,
Well, I'm awake.
You
hey,
are
Demon, did we
tired.
get the prize money?
Yeah.
Okay, because we should probably leave.
It's probably about this point in time that Elric comes up behind you and just goes behind you, Denock, and just kind of goes, "What in the hell's?" And it's like looking at the damage done, the fact that would he notice? Nope, not with that roll. Like a patron, presumably, knocked down outside of this door with where this maul just kind of slowly back into the bedroom. He's just like, what?
It seems that our barbarian does not like being woken up this early in the morning, even though it's for our prize money. And I call that down towards Cardin's door.
Well, I
Prize
believe
money.
he's gonna be owing me a door. I
walk through the door. Since I already owe him the door, I just walk through the door.
I mean, the door isn't there anymore.
I know.
He walks through the door.
Servant, if you can, please stand up.
It takes a moment, clearing some of the rubble off of it, but it does eventually stand back up onto its own 2 feet.
I give it a good look over.
It seems damaged. It's not broken, but it did sustain some heavy damage.
As I end the rage as I hear prize money, and I look over. I was like,
prize money?
I was like
like a
freaking dog.
Yeah, and then I see the skeleton. And I was like, was that what that knocking noise was?
Yeah, so it would seem.
I sent him to wake you up to get the prize money. And then I make sure no one else is listening in, and I tell them 280 gold approximate.
I'm gonna go back in my room and get decent, y'all. I shut my door back.
Okay.
I say, good. We needed that after that.
And all of mine's gonna disappear pretty quick.
So I'm going to ask the barkeep if he has any well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him if I can just go ahead and replace the door. And then I look, and then well, first off, I'm going to see if there's a tree nearby.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
You're gonna look for a tree, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going to look for a tree to cut down to make him a new door.
Okay.
So you're going to offer to make him a new door.
Yes.
He kind of goes, you could just pay me and I could get a new door. It'd be like 10 gold pieces for a decent door.
Oh yeah, I hand them 10 gold pieces.
Okay. Good call, because the closest tree is probably a tree in the Bleeding Forest.
Mm.
Oh.
Gosh.
So,
You had fun with that, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
I'm talking to Rip.
oh well, I looked the way that I looked on the map that I have drawn for this.
No. I mean the Skelly Bro.
Oh, absolutely, because I looked up his intelligence and it's super freaking low.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, okay. And then he also can't speak. So how is he going to convey this? Okay.
You did so much better than I was hoping. Like, I knew it would go along those lines, but it just went so much better.
Now, that's what happens when you give a DM freedom to do what he wants. So
That's why I love having you as our DM.
So to add to your guys' inventory, you guys get 230 gold pieces and 5 platinum pieces each. So platinum is worth 1 platinum is worth 10 gold pieces. So a total of 280 gold. If you guys don't want to deal with platinum pieces, that is up to you.
How much plat? 30?
Hmm?
How much plat?
5 platinum pieces, 230 gold pieces are what is in each of your bags.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Like I said, if you don't want to keep track of platinum, gold, and silver, copper, all that other stuff, you can break it down into gold pieces for the most part, just because it's the same thing. Just kind of remember that that gold piece, the more gold you have, the bigger your purse will appear, and the more weight it technically carries. But for the most part, I don't factor that into the encumbered statistics because money really isn't that heavy, and you guys can always, put it into a larger coinage. So I don't consider that too much, but I do take in consideration how much gold you might have in your coin pouch. So,
Might have to take it to a bank and get it converted.
what's a
But
bank?
for the time being, they don't have banks here. Oh no.
Seriously, what is a
banks
bank?
in your world? You didn't say that there were.
I just assumed that there must be some kind of financial
Institution?
institution. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called the
Where I'm from.
marketplace.
Oh. But I figured we had banks, place where you could take your money and save it and convert it and such.
Okay. Well, you guys have been paid. The message has been delivered for this town.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
There it is.
Brunch me.
Punch you?
Brunch him.
Brunch me.
Brunch. So, also, Dinock, you would know at this point in time, it's roughly 10 o'clock.
Brunch me.
Yeah, and so, Katya, you are
I need to eat
still
something.
pretty tired.
Yeah, but brunch me. Maybe it'll wake me up.
Okay.
Wake you up inside? Can't wake up? Wake you up
Where you
inside?
go. So, what... Are you looking for a fine meal, a decent meal, or...
Extravagant.
Yeah, this is
How
a
much will
tavern.
it
You can get basically a food that is suitable to be called a meal, or you can get a fairly decent meal. There isn't no good food.
I'm gonna
He's a
call
good
for a
cook.
combination. I'm gonna call for a combination between breakfast and lunch foods and of sufficient quality. I'm not going to gorge myself or anything. I do have a journey ahead of me.
Okay. Due to the specialty of the order, it'll run you 6 silver.
Fair enough.
basically you're getting charged an extra silver because he's got to now get the breakfast food that's probably already been put away.
Yep.
Payback for our first night.
So with that, basically he gives you a combination of different foods, some breakfast foods like eggs and bacon, and there are some biscuits, and then for lunch you're served area. You'd probably be served ham of some kind. It's cooked well enough, but it's nowhere near the quality that it was a few towns back. So.
Also, it's probably because I just splintered a full door.
Well, you paid him for the door, so.
Yeah, true.
You just got to clean up the splinters now.
Which is fairly easy enough.
That's a
Random
pain in the
thought. Did we ever go explain to what's his name about the Gloom Drake being in the water?
No, we didn't.
Nope.
Oop.
Let's go do that.
Okay. So as you guys kind of finish
Sidetracked.
brunch and people get food and eaten, the money kind of handed out and stuff like that. I'm gonna say we go ahead and take a real quick break as it is 10:30.
Ouch.
And that's kind of our halfway point. We'll go and then we'll just kind of, I think this is an appropriate point to kind of take a short break here, and we'll just pick it right back up there on your guys' way to Lumiar's abode.
Fair enough.
So let's go ahead and just take a real quick break here, guys, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Gotcha.
Bye.
Break time.
What were we doing
All right,
again?
thank you for staying with us through that break there, guys. We're going to go ahead and jump right back into it. Y'all were heading to... Dang, I thought I was done with that.
Ooh.
You guys are heading to Lumiar's abode, or his home. The leader of this city. Oh, excuse me. So as you guys are kind of making your way through the city streets, being led by D-Knock, who has a freaking photographic memory, eventually you guys are led to the door of Lumiar. The door is currently closed, and you guys are outside.
I knock.
We should have the skeleton knock again.
That ended so well last time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
I mean,
want
2
to
for 3
lose
isn't
him.
bad.
I don't want to lose him so quickly.
Alright, well, you guys knock. Takes a moment, but eventually...
Oh, knock.
Well, Z-Knock already declared that he'd knocked.
Well, excuse me.
So, it takes a minute, but eventually Lumiar comes to the door and kind of opens it, and once again, basically just wearing a pair of trousers, shirtless, and kind of goes, yes. Oh.
Oh, be still my heart.
Do you actually say that?
Under my breath.
Under your breath? Okay.
Under my breath.
Roll a stealth check.
Uh-oh. That's a low stat for me.
Fail, fail, fail.
13?
Okay. He kind of like looks at you and goes, "I'm sorry, what was that?"
I said my coin
about-
purse needs to be still. Deception? Oh!
He kind of looks at you and then kind of goes, "Right. Well,
It's about the water supply. We didn't get a chance to talk to you before the game started, so
fair enough. What did you discover? Oh, please, where are my manners? Come in, come in.
Oh yes, gladly. Gladly indeed.
You guys step inside and
I just give you an elbow bump. Like, come on, man.
I'm sorry, I can't control my womanly urges.
you're what now?
I said I can't control my spinning urges.
Remember, he is an elf.
I can't control my spinning urges.
Right. Anyway, the water supply. I understand that you guys couldn't have found me before the games. Things get kind of chaotic before the games take. So, what is it that you found or discovered?
The previous party they slew the Gloomdrake, yes? They
Or
left
we were
it.
aware, yes.
They left it where they slew it, which just so happened to have fallen into the water supply. We
That
removed
was a
it.
fun time.
Yes, we removed it, and then we came straight to the games.
Well, thank you for removing it. We'll have to send some clerics out to purge the water, probably. Anyway, right, kind of like looks at you guys for a moment. Is there one more of you today?
Yes, a friend of mine. My servant, actually.
He's gonna insight check that. Okay. You kind of like, right, okay. Interesting. Just a moment then. And he kind of goes to the back, and he rummages around for a couple of minutes, and then eventually emerges with a like a small sack. And he kind of tosses it to you, D-Knock, and goes, for your efforts. It's not much, but it's what I can spare, and it's, look at it this way, if you want another go in the arena, it's a free pass at the very least.
Maybe when we complete our mission and get Ada to the other city.
Fair
We'll
enough.
say the rest of you. Another round in the arena?
Maybe after all's done.
Maybe
after
I
we
say-
return home.
I say definitely after we're done.
Maybe after I return home.
Not going to lie, I would enjoy going a round or two with you guys. You guys have some chemistry on the field, let's say. It's been a while since I've watched a match that got my blood flowing like that.
Oh my.
You were pretty good yourself.
These matches that typically go against me are nothing but vague entertainment.
Fair. It looks like you handled them pretty well.
Well, when you train your entire life for war, only to be told, years and years later, that war is not going to happen and that our lifestyle has been abolished, essentially, you don't have much to do, and because of that, the games were created by the founders. Turns out I was the best fighter among the founders, and we continue the tradition of the games.
So, what happened to the other founders?
I killed them in the arena.
Oh.
Ballard just kind of claps.
Leadership
So that's
disputed?
that must be where the
No.
saying "might makes right."
That actually was the first victor in the arena, and it kind of stuck, and people did not let go of their stubborn ways. So now, in order to have any kind of change or power in the village, one must enter the singles death tournament and win. Well, needless to say, it's been the founders who controlled it for a while, and eventually I got tired of what they believed in and what they said, and I stepped up to challenge the ruling one at the moment. Once he was defeated and killed, the others were upset, blah blah blah, they came after me, they failed. And since then, I really haven't had a decent fight. But I suppose that's what is expected when a lot of us trained as warlords for, 300 years? 200 years? God, it's been that long. Probably.
I definitely would not mind learning from you at some point. You
But if we came
Obviously.
back and we fought you in the arena, if you win,
fought
we're
me
dead.
if you fought me in the arena, it would be for sport, not for the games. We do not. That is one of the rules that was later implemented. Was we do not allow party to enter the solo competition. Now, if if one of you were feeling risky enough to enter as a independent, then yeah, you could potentially fight me one-on-one in the gladiatorial games, but that would be a choice you would have to make.
No offense, but it doesn't sound worth it, because either you win and whichever one of us tried facing you is dead, or one of us wins and you're dead. So
And then you're stuck leading the town.
yeah, you either lose or you lose.
Well, now that's not completely true. There's benefits to being the leader. Now, I will say that some of the denizens here are quite stuck in their ways and do not wish to change some of the rules, but most of the rules and laws here are flexible. Not to mention, as leader, you have various perks, we'll say.
I definitely would not mind learning a thing or two. I would need to before facing the likes of you.
You have a bit of a heavy hand for the method that I use, but you are a good fighter. That much I can see is true.
Fair.
Perhaps a more disciplined individual would be a better instructor for you. And I don't mean that in a means of being strict. I mean this in a means of somebody who is more dedicated to wielding the heavier brandishing weapons as you do. Somebody who is more built for that kind of a fighting approach, whereas you tend to take and shrug off blows. I merely avoid them altogether.
Fair. So, yeah, you are probably right on that. I do prefer bigger weapons.
But exchanging blows with you someday is not out of the realm of possibility. I would quite enjoy that.
Same.
Anyway, I do believe that you guys have things to do today. Is that correct? I'm sure Ada is ready whenever you are.
Yes, we are. I do believe we're getting ready to go to the next town.
Sounds about right.
Heading off to the capital then.
I
Is that the
believe
one you
so.
have left? City of Tolus.
Should be interesting. Hopefully they have a decent library there.
They should. I will also say this. Entering a large city like that, mind your coin pouches, as they are definitely fuller now than they were before.
Truth.
I'm gonna be keeping mine in my pack.
Yeah.
Out of sight.
Is there anything else you guys wish to discuss with Lumiar?
Not on my end.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Alright. You guys leave his abode and do what?
Onward.
I start thinking about what I'm going to do in the capital city.
I kind of hang towards the back of the group this time with my servant.
Mhm.
And I
So
actually.
you guys are getting ready to leave the city?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
We'll find auto and stuff like that.
Okay.
Before we leave, I'm putting my coin purse in my pack. Out of sight, out of mind.
Easy enough.
Yes, like I was saying, I am hanging near the back of the group as we're looking for Ada.
Okay.
And
Doing what?
when no one's looking, I hand my pouch to my servant and say, "Tie it to the inside of your collarbone, so the pouch is inside of your ribcage."
Are you doing
Well, that's
that
interesting.
for your whole coin purse, or
Well, the majority of it. I'm keeping
okay?
30 gold and the 5 platinum on my person.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. Okay.
I mean, no one's gonna find it unless they literally go inside of him.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, no, he should be fine. Let's see. Do I still have that up? I do. Okay, I did that right. Okay. I was just making sure that you didn't just hand a brick to a skeleton and he just kind of collapse from the weight.
That's why I kind of did it on the inside of his collarbone. Nice and secure there.
Mm-hmm. Right, but everything still has a carrying capacity of a certain threshold. I just couldn't remember what a skeleton's strength was off the top of my head, so I looked it up real quick. It's a 10, which means he can carry 150 pounds of material.
Nice.
And if you guys ever need to calculate that for whatever reason, it's your strength score times 15. So, Katya, yours would be, I'm pretty sure you have an
120.
8.
It'd be 120.
Yeah, so it's 8 times 15. So, that's how you calculate it. So, if you're ever curious. So,
I'm
guys-
going to say what mine is just for kicks and giggles.
it's high. You guys easily enough find Ada. You guys head back to the inn to collect the rest of your belongings, and you do find Ada there. He is kind of having lunch, and he goes, ready to head out whenever you guys are. I just need to finish lunch. And you watch as he kind of grabs a mug and just slams it down. Ready when you are.
Cool. I think we're pretty much ready.
Let's do
You
that.
guys grab the rest of your stuff, and you begin the 2-day trek towards the city of Tullus. So,
Mhm.
going forward, I am going to point this out for Denock because he would know this.
Yeah.
From the time that the rights have been reissued, as of today, so today, you guys have used I believe that's right. Hold on one second. Yeah, so today is day 12. Just so that you know. In terms of traveling and stuff like that.
And we have.
You have 3 weeks, is what you were told.
Okay.
Okay, so we have another.
So we're
Okay.
pretty good timing.
Yeah.
So when you guys arrive in the city of Tullus, you guys will be at exactly 2 weeks. So 14 days.
Let's get to Toll.
So give me 1 second here as I update my day tracker. Because there are multiple things I'm keeping track of. In terms
And
of
probably
days.
change the music.
Oh boy.
Yep, working on it. So, you guys begin to leave and begin to head into the wilderness to the great beyond. And you guys travel for the first day. I would like somebody to go ahead and make a survival check.
I'll do it.
Technically
Crossing my
with
fingers.
advantage due to Otta helping you.
Like I said, I'm still crossing my finger. I need that advantage.
Hey, 12. Okay. You guys.
In my defense, I have lived in a city with clearly defined directions all my life.
Truth.
I didn't say anything. You guys travel for the rest of the day, eventually beginning to make camp for the evening. And as you guys begin to make camp, is there anything you guys would like to do? And if not, would you guys like to set up a watch?
I want to see if I can find some herbs nearby. If I can start making some healing potions.
Okay. Roll survival.
Splat. Here we go. That's a 9.
Looks like looks like some of the plants that you know that you would need for this material does not grow in this area.
Go figure.
So may need to look for an area that's got a little bit more of some wetland. As you guys have now.
Next time I'm near a river.
At this point, you guys kind of have moved on from the river that flowed through the city of Inthalna.
I want to be practicing like infusing magic into whatever I pick up. Sticks. Stones.
Magic stick.
I got an idea. I need to
Uh-oh.
see if I can work it.
Okay. I'll say go ahead and make an Arcana check, and then just message me either privately or in some kind of chat about what it is you want to ultimately accomplish, so that I can kind of think about that and see how that would actually work in terms of game development and stuff like that, if that makes sense.
Whoop. Oh.
15. It's quite a bit harder than you anticipate. You know there are people who enchant things all the time with magic, but you didn't realize until you kind of started trying to force magic into another object how difficult it was. While putting magic into an object is kind of easy and simple. You're essentially just forcing the magic out of your body into another object. However, that object very quickly, from what you're experiencing during this time, very quickly loses that magical property. Where you're tending to struggle a little bit is keeping the magic be keeping the magic held within the object itself.
Mhm.
But not a bad roll, at least for the starting portions of this property. What about Cardin or Valinar or Katya?
Garden is going to try and find a couple large rocks.
Like how big?
Like rock.
Garden size?
Like carton size rock. Like carton weightlifting size rocks. You know, like those boulder things they do in the strongman competitions.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh man.
He's just going to be like,
You gonna do this shirtless too?
I mean, I don't even know if Cardin is currently wearing. Oh yeah, he is currently, but yeah, he probably wouldn't have a shirt on while he's working out.
so boulders of that size are fairly easy to encounter, especially on your way out of the city of Inthalna. However, where are you going to carry this rock?
No, I'm just going to like
At camp?
I'll carry it to the camp, or like I'll go to like the outside.
Oh, so you're going to try to find a boulder, a large size boulder, and roll it essentially for.
No, I think he means when we set up camp, he's going to look for a boulder.
Oh,
Yeah, like when we set up camp,
okay.
like one closest to the camp.
Interesting.
Because he wants to sort of like weighty stuff.
Make a. Let's go with a nature check.
Not sure.
Yeah. And my argument is this is knowing where to find a rock of that kind of size.
Oh.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
You would think
Sad.
living in the wilderness, your nature score would be better.
So nature. So this is the thing. Nature is actually an intelligence-based score.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I know, but so is religion.
Yeah.
And
True.
I disagree with some of those. I really do, and I don't know how to exactly fix it. I seriously think religion and nature need to be either wisdom based, or druid and or cleric needs to be intelligence based, and then the other score that you don't change needs to be wisdom. So, like for example, if change religion to wisdom, leave clerics as wisdom caster, and then change druids to int casters. I mean that but I think it would also be simpler just to change both of them to nature, because I think that makes way more sense. But
Alternatively, you can set custom modifiers on your character sheet.
I mean, yes, I know this, but I'm not changing those rules and stuff. I'm just voicing my opinion.
Ah, opinion.
So, yes. So unfortunately, Carden, there are no rock formations nearby where a boulder of that size would be located.
Okay, he's just going to do like push-ups and crap.
Okay.
He's
Noted.
going to work out and crap.
Okay. I understand.
I'm going to take first watch.
Okay.
But before he goes to bed.
Velvet,
Oh, sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead,
Before he
go
goes to bed. Who's going?
Valinar, you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Before he
think
goes to bed, Valinar's gonna. Sorry. Valinar's gonna dig a hole and he wants to try a new spell he got.
Oh, okay.
okay.
And he wants to make sure the water goes in the hole so it doesn't go everywhere. He wants to see how it works and see how
30-gallon hole.
It's probably not going to be 30 gallons because I don't think Valinor actually knows how much he's going to create.
Roll a strength check for me just to see how much of a hole you dig.
17?
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so you kind of like dig this hole, and everybody's kind of like watching you strangely at a time, for a time, and all of a sudden, and then you stand over this hole. You put one hand over it, and you set another hand, your other hand, kind of off to the side, and as you finish the incantation of this spell, water essentially begins pouring from your hand, and ration-like food basically comes just comes tumbling out of essentially the ether, and just boop, 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 and just landing on the ground. And the water keeps pouring into this hole and filling, and eventually it does run over the top of the hole that you have dug. It doesn't do too much over. You dug a hole pretty deep, and because it is a hole, it's also absorbing a little bit of the water. But when the water is held, there is some that kind of spills over and runs down the ground, along the ground here, and there is quite a bit of food that has been made that is currently just on the ground. It's not like, again, it's like travel ration stuff. It's not like a gourmet food thing. It is fairly bland but sustainable if you were to eat it. It is very much like trail rations.
Yeah, Valinar's going to just take a bite of the food and drink a bit of the water.
The water is clean and fresh. The food it's not bad. It's fairly bland. It definitely could use some salt or something like that.
Okay.
Anyone got any salt?
No. Carden will come over to Valinor because he smells food.
For warning you, very bland.
You can create food and you can create water, but you can't create salt.
Oh, you don't understand it either. In fact, this is the first time I've done this.
DM, how do I do a check to see if I can create some semblance of salt from natural materials?
Oh, you're going to do it from natural materials? That would be...
Yeah.
Nature.
Let me see what I got here. See what I can whip up. 12?
12.
He finds a rock.
Well, you know.
Rock
salt!
Don't think we're in the right location for that.
He makes truffle salt instead.
Okay.
Oh.
You would know that there wouldn't be any rock salts or salty water to distill in order to acquire salt from this area. You would need a very large bed of sediment, of like sedimentary minerals that would have been in this area and would have dried up from the water and stuff. So a place that may have been like a lake or pond once upon a time would probably be a good place to look for it. But in the middle of a landlocked area, you're just not going to find salt.
Maybe if you rub a little dirt in your food.
I don't think that's gonna help.
I mean, I wouldn't eat that.
You wouldn't eat the jerky, or you wouldn't eat the dirt.
The dirt part. I wouldn't eat the dirt.
You're
Sorry,
hungry now.
I didn't sleep long enough last night. I'm kind of tired.
I mean, don't
Alright.
stay out so late then.
Couldn't help myself. I was feeding off the energy of the crowd. We were having a good time.
What all did you do?
Well, let's see. I'm pretty sure I invented a few new dance moves. It's gonna be all the rage in that town for the next few generations, at the very least.
Hmm.
And I might have pulled a leg muscle or something, twerking.
What?
I'm sorry, what?
You know, the dance where you kind of wiggle your legs.
Sorry, got nothing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to show me that one.
Yeah.
If y'all hadn't gone to bed so early. I'll
We
do
be
the best I can. I'll do the best I can, but I can't guarantee it'll be as fantastic as last night. So Katya's gonna stay up and attempt to recreate his dance moves.
Go ahead and roll performance.
Roll to twerk.
17! Look at that.
You do a fairly moderate job at recreating what you did the night before. No, it's not as great, but it's definitely very reminiscent of what you have done previously.
And I just say, this is popular where I come from.
So, Deanoch and Valinar watch Katya shake his ass at them.
Yes.
Cardin, what are you saying?
Oh god. I could just see
Carter,
like
I can see like Carter like taking a bite of food and then just like spitting it back, like choking and spitting it back out. Type of deal. Like,
Katya gets closer to Deanoch. See, like this.
So I was like, okay, you can stop. Look, see, how about we never speak of this again?
Woo. Oh, that's fun. Anyways, I think what what I need to do before I go to bed tonight, though, is so the two components that I use for lightning bolts, the Death Dog Paw and the Rod of Amber, I want to find a way to kind of attach them together, maybe with a bit of rope.
Okay.
So that they're one major component I can kind of use like a wand.
What are you trying? You're trying to attach them as a rope to turn them into a wand?
No, yeah, using rope, attach the two of them together so that it becomes a wand, essentially.
Okay.
My gosh.
Right?
Yep.
For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it's the image of the guy looking on disgust, the devil's on one side, Angel on the other, all looking at the screen in disgust, and then another computer where the NSA and the FBI are both like, "What abomination is this?"
And he also posted a link to it in the chat, so you are welcome to check it out there. So
It's also on our Discord in the D&D tab.
Let me see something here. See if I can give Chase an idea of what I'm talking about here.
while you're doing that, does anybody else want to do anything before bed?
Cardin goes out. He lays down and sleeps
Okay.
Okay.
in his like tent type thing or whatever it is.
Right. All right.
Who's keeping watch?
I'll take first.
Okay. Katya, you're you're just trying to put it on a rope. Is that what you're saying?
No, I have a amber rod. Okay? So
Yeah.
a small amber rod and the dog paw, so I'm trying to tie it to the end of the rod. Like a fairy wand.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're trying to add a customized bling to your rod.
Hang on. Confident. Here we go. I'm trying to put the two together so I don't have to hold them up separate when I'm casting my spell.
What do you need the
Hang
dog
on.
paw for?
The bit of fur. The bit of fur used in the lightning bolt.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah! I need a bit of fur and a rod of amber. I have both those components.
Mm-hmm.
Take the image that I just posted.
You're trying to create a merged spell component.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just hold up this magic wand and I cast lightning bolt. Take the image that I just posted to the D&D page.
Yeah, I saw. I want to
Yeah.
check something though.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do need to check something with that spell. So.
I try to make creative ways to put my stuff together so it's usable, like the duck muffs in Dylan's campaign.
Okay. I would say you'd be able to. Just give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh,
I really just needed to check and make sure that the fur or whatever wasn't consumed, because otherwise it'd be pointless. 8. Okay.
Oh, well,
You
that
tie
would be
it-
pointless.
You tie it on there.
Okay.
So.
I mean, I don't think it says it's consumed. Otherwise, I'd be in a lot
It
of
does
trouble
not.
right
That's,
now.
it does not.
Okay.
That's what I looked up.
Whew.
That's what I was looking up, because I was like, if it's consumed, it'd be kind of pointless for you to
Tie it on.
yeah tie it on there.
Yeah. Okay. So now I have I guess a lightning rod. Cool.
Okay. Alrighty. Alright, and then if there's nothing else, then I guess we will take watch. Enoch, you said you were going to take first watch?
Yep. Perception?
Alright. Go ahead and roll perception.
Okay.
13.
Good thing it weren't the poo.
Okay. Eventually, your watch passes with no real incident. Who do you wake?
I gently shake Valinar's shoulder.
Oh boy. What?
I do it, not the skeleton.
Okay. What's going on?
Second watch. No, we didn't say who was going to take second, so I shrug.
Alright, whatever. Sits up.
Oh, that explains. My headphones were very uncomfortable, and I eventually, I just figured out that they were on backwards. Hey, charge your phone.
Whoops.
Yeah, it's fine. Much better now.
It's
Alright.
been a day for everybody.
Alright, so then, Valinar, it is now your turn. I'm assuming you guys have a campfire of some sorts, so go ahead and make a perception roll.
Perception. How's it not 20 or not 20?
Oh, shit.
The gods guide
Wow,
your
man.
hand.
Okay. Nothing really of note. You are kind of hyper vigilant almost. It's weird. Your consciousness almost extends beyond the range of sight itself. You know that there are creatures in the woods, but most of them being deer or other small animals that just stalk the night.
And then you see beyond reality, and then you see the web that is the perversion and porn of the internet.
Nothing
Hey,
nothing
the
seems
internet's
to
for
catch
porn after
your
all.
attention.
Okay.
Also, I want to point out, I think you have had a double nat 20 almost every session.
It feels like that. You constantly get those.
I don't understand how.
The game loves you for some reason.
Alright.
Alrighty.
Well, aside, sorry.
Yeah, who are you going to wake next, Valinar?
Well, I was gonna kind of look around and go, I guess I'll try to wake up. He kind of tries to nudge Cardin awake.
Okay.
Awake.
What was that?
I'm awake.
Alright, you got next watch.
Okay. I struggle. I get up by using my maul as like a crutch.
Now, real quick question. Denoc and Valinar. How were you guys attempting to break watches apart? Are you trying to set it up for a full 4 watches? 5, 3?
I mean, Valinor would have assumed it was 4.
4.
Yeah, 4.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so,
Also,
Cardin.
I do have a question.
Yes.
I never specified what my skeleton's doing while I'm asleep. What's he doing?
Well, technically, your last command to him was to follow you. So he's probably actually standing right over top of you and just watching you for the most part. So, as that was your last issued command.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to see how he was going to follow that command.
Yeah, he's probably just like literally just standing right over top of you and just staring at you as you sleep. like an unmoving center.
Sentinel?
Throughout Valinor's entire watch, he just kind of kept glancing over, like, what is he doing?
Yeah. Staring at Denoc.
It's creepy.
occasionally he'll like look up and like look over at something, like he heard a noise or something like that. Most of the time it was you whenever you'd move a little bit in your armor, a little uncomfortably. He'd kind of turn and look at you for a moment, and then he'd turn back to D-Knock and just continue to stare, as he has no
He's
eyelids,
looking at-
so he can't blink.
He's staring at Dinoc, licking his lips that don't exist.
With a tongue
Or
that doesn't
tongue.
exist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cardin, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Perception.
Yeah.
What's happened? Oh.
9.
Wow.
Ooh,
9.
9.
So that's a 4 on the die.
Yep, I'm aware.
Mm-hmm. You took all my luck, Valar.
Sorry.
It's quiet tonight. The animals are still there are animals in the forest that are still moving about and making noise, so you're not worried about any kind of immediate danger. But you do struggle to kind of stay awake in a sense. You do come and go. You kind of nod off a little bit, but it's not like it's more of like when your head begins to drop and it like basically hits your chest. You're like, oh, gotta stay awake. So,
I've had some days like those.
but eventually your watch comes to an end, uneventful.
Okay. I go to wake up Kadia.
Okay.
And the way that he is going to wake up Kadia
Oh no.
is
Oh, yes.
he is going to mind link
Oh man.
Kadia, get up. It's your time to watch. I want to go to bed.
Now, in my asleep state, do I feel this is part of a dream?
You would not. I don't think so. Does Katya lucid dream?
Well, the other night, for sure.
I would say probably not, just due to the nature of individuals. I would say you would probably not perceive it as part of the dream.
Start a little, maybe jump, because it will startle me. This voice popping up in my head,
Yep.
and I'm gonna roll over and look right at Cardin.
He looks back at you.
And you look back at him, and he looks back at you, and you look back at him, and you look
And then I finally ask, "What watch number is this?"
4. I'm going to bed.
Oh, y'all are so nice. You let me sleep tonight. Thank you very much. He's gonna get up and he's gonna stretch, and then take his watch.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception.
Perception. That's gotta be the highest perception I've ever rolled in my life.
Okay.
By the way, what's your reaction to the skeleton's man standing over me?
After the way that he woke me up yesterday morning, I'm just not surprised. It's just odd.
Okay. You kind of
Skeleton regain hit points after a long rest.
technically, and I'll explain that in a minute. So you kind of are keeping watch, and as day begins to break, you notice nothing really out of the ordinary. You see some trees in the far off distance, but
Nice trees.
nothing major as of the moment. You guys had a very quiet and uneventful night in the woods. Well, not in the woods, kind of like the plains. Sorry,
I'm
that was
gonna
a
wake
slip of the
everybody
tongue.
up. I'm gonna wake everybody up in a panic and act like there's something going on.
You are?
Oh,
Yep.
no.
Okay. How do you do
So
so?
I'll just first I'm gonna go to Valinar, and I'm hoping Denock is kind of in range. I don't know how close y'all are sleeping together.
I mean, imagine there's at least 6 feet.
I don't know if my arms can reach that far. I'll start with Valinar, then I'll shake him awake. Valinar, Valinar, get up! Get up, they're coming! And then I'll run to Denock.
Who's coming?
Denock! Denock! There's trouble! Trouble somewhere! And then Cardin. Wake up! We need your muscle!
Well, I get up, kind of stumbling in a panic.
Who's coming for what?
They're coming for you! Them!
Oh god.
And I
Because
point out-
start running.
I point out towards the trees that I saw, and there's nothing.
Where? I don't.
Yeah, Valinar is just actually, for backstory reasons, he's gonna get up and just start running.
Mhm. Actually, interesting enough, I need Denock to make a perception check for me.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. What have I done?
Nothing. This was going to happen regardless of what happened to you.
Oh, why couldn't I get a banner?
You're good.
15
I think.
roll.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine. This is actually hysterical. So you watch as Katya does this. You know, they're coming for you. They're coming for you. And he turns and begins sprinting. I'm assuming away from the group.
Me?
Or do you head towards the trees?
Oh no, I'm running away from the trees.
Okay, so away from the way he was pointed.
Yes.
So as he kind of like turns and runs past you, Denock, you like watch him for a moment as he like passes through your periphery, and you swear that there is a shadowy figure kind of looming and floating right behind him.
Oh!
Oh,
Sorry, what?
Almost attached to him like a shadow, floating kind of incorporeal like behind him. You kind of turn your head and follow, and you can see this figure, kind of tall, seemingly dressed. Well, I mean, he appears all black as like a shadow, kind of distorted in a way, just kind of floating behind him.
Does it look like anything I've recognized off the top of my head in the brief second?
Off the top of your head, no.
Okay. I shout out, Valar! Whatever it is, it's behind you!
Oh god. Valar's gonna
I'm gonna look at.
around and cast
gonna-
burning hands.
I'm actually gonna look at Denock. Wait, I was joking. What are you talking about?
There's some kind of shadow following him!
So, Valinar, you turn and you cast Burning Hands and just light up this area within a 15-foot cone of you. It doesn't capture anything, and Denock, you watch as the shadowy figure kind of passes through the flame and slowly floats back behind Valinar. Katya, when you turn and you're facing Valinar, you watch as he the flame into the air here, but you do not see what Denock seems to be talking about.
Where'd they go?
I see nothing.
It's
I
still
don't know.
behind you!
Valar's just gonna keep trying to look behind him.
You like keep turning and
I'm gonna-
looking, and you see nothing, Valinar.
Can I get up around now?
Yeah,
There's
you're up.
nothing
You're,
here.
you're up. You're all looking around. None of you see anything other than Denock.
So
Denock,
Denock's gonna turn.
This figure kind of floats for a moment, and And then for a moment, it kind of turns and looks at you and kind of tilts its head to the side. And you do notice at this point that kind of underneath where the chin would be, kind of probably 3 or 4 inches below that, you see this like white square almost in this creature's form. It kind of turns its head curiously for a moment, almost locking eyes with you. This white light of these eyes kind of like making eye contact with you for a moment.
My breath
And
catches in my throat.
And in that moment, like something out of Affinity Wars, the creature dissipates, disintegrates, you're unsure, and vanishes from your sight.
Okay, I just want to point out, Valinor, Katya, Carden, anyone who looks at Dinoc, they swear he is light gray at this point.
You look like you might need some skills pulled again.
Where'd they go?
What did you see?
They disappeared. Whatever the shadow thing was, it's gone. It just faded.
What shadow thing?
I don't know.
I was making a joke.
It was following you, Valinor, like a presence was. I don't know. It had glowing white eyes. I've never even.
Okay,
read about
Dina.
anything like
Okay, Dina, you can give it a rest now. It
No.
was a joke.
No,
Would I know anything about what he's talking about?
And there was some kind of weird glowing square in it, like underneath its chin, like the throat.
You're just making that up.
You wouldn't give. I'm gonna say no. Like,
Okay.
you are just not. You just don't know what kind of a creature or anything like that could have just been there, floating behind you. And I will say, for a little bit more clarification, it did have a humanoid physique to it, and essentially it looked humanoid, but it was completely shadowy and distorted, and it seemed to follow Valinor around.
That's why I said shadow being, not shadow creature.
Right. It didn't seem hostile towards it at all. And when it looked at you, it almost looked more curious than anything.
Oh no!
Before it vanished.
Oh no!
Yeah, and Valinor, that is you do not know what he is talking about. You've never had an issue of anything, for the lack of a better term, stalking you before.
Okay, that's just weird.
It looked like a person, but just made of shadows.
DM, is this anything I know about?
No.
Didn't think so.
Is this anything Carden knows about?
No.
Is there anything Otto knows about?
Ooh!
Yeah, wait, where is Otta?
We've forgotten him.
Well, he's there, but no, he does
we
not
just
know
forgot
anything
about
about
him.
that. He kind of
Okay.
just... Well, I don't think so. Let me roll for him real quick. It's actually a really good roll for Otto.
But is it enough?
I'm gonna say no. Like, he rolled really well on the die, but unfortunately, it's just such a... He kind of goes, sorry, that's just a really strange concept there. I don't... The only shadow beings that, in my knowledge, is... Well, shadows. Things from the Shadowfell. Most of those beings are... and will attack you on sight.
The Shadowfell?
It didn't seem hostile. It was like it wanted to be behind you, just like it was naturally supposed to be there. Maybe
I wonder if
some
this has
kind of-
anything to do with being a Kalistar. The whole second spirit inside you thing.
Oh, that. And my connection to death may be the reason why only I saw it?
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, best explanation for now. Hopefully the
But-
library is capital.
I was wanting to go to the library anyway when we got to the...
Yeah. Oh, I am officially shook. I don't know about anyone else.
I thought I
going
did
to
all
be
the
having-
shaking.
I think I'm going to have nightmares for a while.
Well,
Oh,
at least you can dream.
What?
What?
What was that about dreaming?
At least you can dream. I don't dream.
Oh, is that a psychological thing? Is that just?
I don't
Yep.
know.
Sounds like you need to see a psychiatrist.
Which one, me or the evident spirit?
Yes?
Both.
Well, if you can get a hold of the spirit, let me know.
I still don't believe this spirit exists, but that's just me.
Okay. So you
By the way,
guys- Yeah.
while I'm not going to be obvious about it, I am going to re-up the spell.
Yeah.
I need to do it every 24 hours.
Yep. And when you recast it, that's when he regains his hit points.
There you
So, and that is how he regains his hit points. So,
go.
okay. All right. So you guys continue on your journey towards the city of Tolus. I need somebody else to make a survival check with advantage due to Ada's aid. I believe the last one
let
was
me do
done
it.
by D-Knock. So somebody else.
Let me do it.
Nobody's stopping you.
I am survival. Ah, mod 20.
Okay.
Very nice.
Soft 20. You guys eventually kind of begin to get to the city. You can see the city now. You actually begin to approach it, and it is much different than the rest of the cities you've been to, and it is way different in terms of size and population here.
Now this is more like home.
Approaching the city, you see a lot of the city itself is completely surrounded by plowed fields, rolling hills, these plowed fields, giving both a large flat area for the city to see any kind of oncoming attack or anything like that. You gather that they probably have 3 miles or better of a line of sight before anything would begin to obstruct their vision. The city walls, you see some city walls themselves, large stone walls standing probably 30 feet high. Like I said, made of stone, and you can see these various outcroppings where what appears to be maybe archer points, maybe. And you see dozens of people wandering the tops of the wall down by the bottom where the different gates to the city are. Approaching from the distance, again, you see you can see lots of guards kind of in front of each gate. These gates being these massive steel iron gates, essentially. See that they're very, very narrow, maybe 6 inches apart in terms of the gates themselves. These black onyx-like gates, and Valinar and Cardin, you two would notice this right away, as you guys have some of the highest passive perceptions in the group. high above the city, you actually see large birds flying and circling the city, kind of just lots of them, different patterns. You wait, and as you kind of look for a moment, those aren't birds. Those are griffins.
Oh no.
That's great.
Uh,
I don't remember that first night we were out together.
Valinar, you having the highest perception, just barely would be able to make out some of these griffins. Atop of them, you can see what looks to be people. Can't make out any other detail. You can just see that they're flying. They don't seem to be diving towards the ground or anything like that. Occasionally, one will, but you're not sure what for. Most of the time, it's within the city walls, but they're usually somewhere in the 40 feet high to 60 feet neighborhood. And you guys are still a little ways off at this point.
While staring at the griffins, Valnar just kind of goes, "Hey guys, you remember those weird bandits that tried to rob us? Had those pet
Which
griffins.
ones?
The ones with pet griffins?
Yeah.
Got it off Warren the others? I
Yeah.
don't know me being paranoid, but there are people on those griffins.
Uh-oh.
Ada, is that normal for this city?
You guys were told a while ago, I believe by Palig, I believe is who told you, that some of the more populated cities, such as Tolis, use griffins within their military.
Well, everyone be on your best behavior. Staring at Carden.
Carden looks back at him. Okay.
You guys continue to kind of move forward, and you guys continue to make your way through these essentially these roads that have been separated so that you're not walking through a field, and you guys pass lots of different individuals. You can see people of all different kinds of races here. A lot of them look kind of, especially since you guys are still outside of the city, a lot of these individuals still kind of look kind of rough and tumble, more like farmers or farmhands. Not necessarily like, royalty or anything like that, but they are definitely individuals who are
Hard life.
used to working. So, you guys eventually make your way to the gate of the city, and you can see probably 2 or 3 platoons you gather, kind of guarding the gate. All of them wearing this heavier armored, being kind of heavily armored, and kind of looking about, while some of them are kind of talking with other individuals who seem to have like a clipboard of some kind, taking down notes. And
Again,
taking...
I turn to Ada and ask, is that level of security that way you normally? That seems like an awful lot for one door, no matter the entrance to the city or not.
Well, honestly, a lot of it is just to keep track of who's coming and who's going. There's a lot of traffic in here, and so in order to kind of help with coordination and ideas of who may be involved of this and that, they keep a track of who's coming and for what purpose. It's not like they're going to turn you away for, anything. Everyone is welcome here. It's just a precaution. For example, people. Well, for example, people will come in and they'll tell them that they're here to trade goods, stuff like that. They'll ask how long they'll be here. A lot of times they say, 2-3 days. They don't know. A couple weeks. Things like that. And they put that down. And then whenever you leave, and then all of this stuff is gathered at the end of the day and entered into essentially an archive. And then whenever somebody leaves, they have, again, another situation where they write that name down and they are removed from the archive, etc., etc. It kind of helps keep track of who's in the city at what time, so if there was a major crime or scandal or something like that within the city, they'd be able to know who's present, who would have reason to be in that area, and if your name shows up in the books multiple times, they know you that you're kind of a regular and that you're not somebody who, process of elimination. You're not if you come into the city 100 times, you're not likely to be super involved in something that may be pretty bad within the city. So it's not uncommon for them to be this strict, but it's also because of the population. There's crime here, so they try to do what they can to balance it.
Well, if you ask me, which nobody did, but I'm going to tell you anyways. If they have this much security, watching as people come and people go, and keeping track of all that, the individuals who are low lives wouldn't want to use the main entrances. I'm sure they have an established means to get into the city without documenting it.
On the sewage system.
Perhaps, and you're more than likely right. It's just one of those things where sometimes it's hard to move too much dubious goods through a sewer system. A cart and buggy, a cart and horse would not fit within a sewage system. So sometimes you have to come in through the front.
But what if they're flying in on a griffin?
We have griffins for that. Soldiers on griffins. He kind of looks up.
Well, I was going to sign and say, there are such things as bags of holding.
Correct, there are things that are unable to fit within a bag of holding itself as well. I mean, take for example, I don't know. Let's just go with a rather large pumpkin, for example. It will not fit in the mouth of a bag of holding.
I thought you were actually going to say a griffin.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I honestly thought he was about to say a carden.
Well, he wouldn't fit in one of those either.
I might. Well,
Maybe.
if I wasn't,
Few
if I wasn't,
dislocated bones, broken bone there. Yeah, probably. It could be
if I
done.
wasn't so tall and large right now.
I don't think the tall part has anything to do with fitting through the mouth of the bag.
I'm certainly
Anyway.
a lot thinner when I'm not a man. Anyways, there is such thing as disguises, though. All you have to do is disguise yourself as a guard, mount a griffin, and go flying right in. They won't even question you, I'm sure.
Well, it depends on how good their uniform is, of course. But, again, when there's a will, there's a way. Anyway, come on, let's get checked in and get into the city.
I'm gonna be on the lookout for a certain holy man that may or may not have escaped from the previous city.
We don't know what he looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll stand
unfortunately,
out
you
like a
guys don't.
sore thumb.
I mean, you don't know what he looks like.
Takes Valnar a sec to realize they're not talking about him.
Alright, so you guys kind of walk up and you actually see kind of an elvish man who's been writing things down very quickly. Kind of goes, names or name of group and reason why you are here. And Otta kind of
Name
steps
of group?
forward.
Ooh, how about Champions
not
of
now.
the Pit?
Otta steps forward and goes, I'm Otta, messenger of Zio. These are the traveling protectors. We have, and he lists your guys' names. We're here to deliver a message from Mayor Zio to oh, there it is. To Vom. Okay, very well. Any idea on how long you will be staying? Oh, no, not at all. All right. Okay. You guys are free to end, and it's at this point you guys hear in the back, "That's them! That's them!" And then you guys watch as a platoon kind of separates and steps forward, almost immediately surrounding you guys. Spears kind of dropped, and Otto's like, "What the hell? What in the hell?"
What?
What's
And-
going on this time?
And you guys can kind
Wait,
of
wait,
just
what do we do?
hear this guy in the background. He's the one. They're the ones that killed the platoon that went out.
Oh shit.
They're the ones responsible.
You guys remember those bandits?
You guys watch as like at least the guy in front of you guys just kind of steps backwards and kind of go, and they're like, and you guys can hear now kind of the crowd murmuring and just, oh yeah, that was them. That was them. And you guys are slowly being encroached by these these armed guards, spears lowered, kind of encroaching. You hear one of them call out, you assume probably the captain. He kind of steps through the ranks, shield in one hand, hand on, kind of sword in the other. He kind of just barks. Humanoid, kind of an older male, kind of goes, "Do not resist! You will not be harmed!"
I'm a little
And why are we
confused.
being
What do
arrested? We are guardians of a messenger.
Messenger are not still illegal to kill gods. You can kind of watch as some of the other guards are still, like, step forward.
And what evidence is there against us?
Eyewitness, he kind of says and looks over his shoulder into the crowd behind him.
I don't have it prepared.
So it is his word against ours?
But
You guys travel with a messenger, sure, but this messenger, and he kind of looks down to him. Do you know of the crimes that are being accused against these? No, sir, I do not. Well then, it's the word of unknown adventurers versus that of a loyal city guard.
So,
Take them.
question
Go-
to the
what do you
DM.
say? Yeah.
Considering Valnar's backstory, should I roll a save, like a wisdom save or something, to not start attacking people?
I mean, that is up to you. And what I mean by that is, you were not technically ever taken like this, in a sense, according to
Well,
your
not like
backstory
this,
from what I read.
but sitting in a jail cell, he was basically told he's going to be executed without trial.
Well, you don't know how it works here either.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm like. That's kind of like, it's kind of up to you. It is definitely kind of reminiscence, but you also roll an insight check real quick, just on the captain here, to kind of gauge how.
Oh.
Well, nope. That's in that one.
I'm gonna say that because of that, you're unsure of what the captain may do. You don't have any idea of how just he is, or what kind of a system that they may do.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. So
I take my cue from Valdar because I see him start to tense up, and then he doesn't attack anybody, so I don't attack anybody.
all right. So you got
cut his
you guys.
flipping through
you
his
guys-
notes.
Do you guys resist?
Before anything else, I ask, do you have anyone who has the spell Zone of Truth?
We'll get to that during the trial, he says. As of now, stand down, drop your weapons, and surrender peacefully. And he kind of like raises the sword
Whoa,
kind of
whoa.
at you guys.
I am not
He's
dropping my weapons.
He's not near you. He's just kind of pointing toward the sword towards you guys.
I say, I'm going to be a little bit, not. Oh, I guess you can decide. I'll say, if you guys think we killed your guards, what did they look like? And if we did kill them, they probably couldn't stand us in either way.
Valnar's gonna look over at Cardin like, what are you doing?
Denock's actually gonna slap him upside the head. Shut up! You're making it worse. Trying to yes.
Valnar's gonna take out his mace and throw it on the ground.
Yeah. The captain looks to the rest of you expectingly.
I will not part with a single hammer.
I do have to ask, if we are found innocent, will our gear be returned to us?
If you are found innocent, yes. But if guilty, well, that is another story.
Well, I guess I can comply this time. Then I'll... Let's see, what weapons do I have? I have the crossbow, I have a dagger, and I had that short sword that I picked up from the dead guy at the arena.
Yep, so you two throw your weapons on the ground. Don't delete them, because I'm not going to remember what you guys had.
Right.
Just for the time being, you do not have
access.
Yes. Do you follow suit as well, Denock?
Yes.
Okay.
And I tell
Pardon?
my servant to toss his bow.
Yeah, he tosses it.
Short sword.
Yep, he tosses them.
Like, okay, so what they're going to see is me grab 2 mauls from my back, put them on the ground, pull another quarterstaff from my back, put it on the ground, pull a hand axe from my belt, put it on the ground, pull another quarterstaff from my back, put it on the ground.
How do you fit all these things?
I'll take my great axe off the other side of my belt and put it on the ground.
You have more weapons than a fighter.
Yeah, you watch as Cardin basically unloads his arsenal on the floor, on the ground before you. I find this funny. You guys throw like a mace, a crossbow, a couple daggers, and then Cardin just throws like an entire bag of weapons on the ground.
I'm just imagining like that one scene in at World's End. Or not? Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean at
Also,
World's
don't
End.
forget, you also have javelins that you also drop on the ground.
Oh yes, yes.
So, eventually, so they kind of close the gap, and you watch now as a soldier fully covered in armor, he's wearing a helmet, points at the group and goes, "Pretty much all of them can do magic. Be wary of them all."
My hands are tied.
And the captain goes, grab the anti-mage shackles as well. Use them on all of them.
Oh no!
You guys
no!
You guys eventually are bound, locked in manacles, and escorted into the city, towards what you assume is a prison. And just so that you guys know, the march through the city is very interesting. You guys get a good view of the city, for the lack of a, kind of an escort almost, if you would, as there is probably 2 platoons that currently surround your group, composed of probably close to 30 armored individuals. You can see most of the buildings in here are made between like a simple story or 2. Most of them are made of stone and wood. Very finely crafted, and off in the distance, from what you can tell, maybe 10 to 20 minutes, you actually see another large wall that begins to peek over the buildings within. But eventually you guys are led towards what is essentially the holding cells for this ward.
Question.
You guys are taken inside, taken down 2 levels into a sub-basement, essentially. Hold on, I'm just going to finish as you're growing, and then you can ask questions.
I know, but this is important. This is
What's
actually
up?
important to the whole thing. When you say anti-magic, what do you
Mhm.
mean by
Anti-magic as in you can't cast within it.
that? Okay.
While you have it, you cannot cast spells while you are shackled.
So it's not just it eliminates magic.
It wouldn't technically eliminate magic because it's a preventative measure.
So Skelly Boy is not.
Well, when they get up and close and personal, they kind of realize that it's a skeleton. Because I don't know how you're gonna hide the fact that when they shackle him, that his arms are literally made of bone. I would say that they kind of like look to the captain, and the captain's just like, put him in his own cell, like, as suppose. And kind of like questioning it. He doesn't seem to understand the magic at the moment. The magic of the shackles do not dissipate him, essentially. You can definitely see that he kind of like is confused by them.
Go along with it. I tell him, go along with it.
And like I said, you guys are led downwards, and each of you are placed into your own individual cells. And these cells are probably not terribly large. These iron bars in front of you, stone walls on either side of you, other than the front where the steel bars are in the beginning. And you guys are effectively placed under arrest in the city of Tolus. And these probably 6 by 8 by maybe 10 feet tall cells.
We're all in our separate cells, or were we together?
Each of you are in your own separate cell. It's about 5 feet deep, about 6 or 7 feet wide, and about 10 feet tall. And that's where we're gonna end the session tonight.
Just
You're
a
an
quick
asshole.
note. Belnar curls up into a ball and starts muttering to himself.
Okay.
How far I have fallen to go from pretty much royalty to reduced to a prisoner. And I don't even know what I did wrong.
I'm honestly surprised I wasn't out sooner.
Well then, that's that is
Plot
where we will
twist.
pick up next week. Oh, and I also will mention, Otto was not arrested with you.
Okay.
I should
Fancy.
mention that because, technically speaking, because Otto is a messenger, he has almost what is the equivalent of diplomatic immunity. And because he was not aware of your guys' transgressions, and nobody seemed to point him out as a individual who was present. So
this occurred when we were on the way back to Dagbor to fetch him in the first place.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they
I
attacked
remember.
us and tried to extort us. What the hell? What do you mean?
I remember. I
know you
remember lots. So that is where we're gonna go ahead and end the session there tonight, guys. We'll pick up there next week.
I gotta sit in jail for a week. I
Well,
don't like it.
it'll feel like a week to you, Rona, but not to you, Katya. So,
Oh,
all right, guys.
It's a long time.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. As for the stream, guys, thank you guys so much for sticking around. Yeah, we'll pick this up next week, next Friday. Make sure you follow me on Twitter to figure out what the stream schedule will be, as it'll be vastly different probably every week now. And then if you miss anything, check it out over on the Big Ripper YouTube channel, because I upload everything over there. So, and that's really all I got to say. Like I said, I don't know what the schedule will be like. So, yeah, I'll let you know on Twitter. So see you guys in the next one. Night.
Peace.
See you all in a week.